We felt like we were in the Philippines tonight and not in Abu Dhabi, so now I think you can definitely say a word to your fans.
Magandang gabi, mga kababayan. Magandang gabi, Abu Dhabi.
Thousands of fans were yelling Alex Eala's name when she entered Stadium Court in Abu Dhabi. It was completely crowded. And on the other side of the net, her best friend and former doubles partner, with whom she has traveled the world, shared many memories, and most likely laughed and wept through the highs and lows of professional tennis. Music. Alex had to ruin her. The majority of 20-year-olds are unable to cope with that level of emotional conflict. However, this Filipino phenomenon is going to cause issues for the entire WTA Tour because of what Alex did next. Allow me to explain why this match was so much more than a simple victory in the first round. Here's the problem. Alex entered the Z Sports City International Tennis Center's Stadium Court in Abu Dhabi to take on Zanab Sonmez. However, this wasn't your typical first-round battle. She used to play doubles with this person. She was friends with this person. And to be honest, that makes it much more difficult. Imagine, for example, that you have to go out there and attempt to ruin someone you truly care about. Music. Someone you've undoubtedly had meals and inside jokes with, traveled with, and trained with. The majority of us are incapable of understanding such type of mental gymnastics. However, Alex entered the room prepared to conduct business. And the crowd, oh wow, the stadium was crammed with people for the day's last game. The moment they learned that Alex was performing, your Filipino supporters most likely made travel arrangements. Additionally, there were Turkish supporters of Zanab present. These two musicians currently have some of the most devoted and outspoken fan audiences on the road. But let's face it, the energy must have been fantastic because Filipino supporters made up the vast bulk of the crowd in that building. Now, let's discuss their past before we even start this battle. Music. Alex had a flawless 2-0 record versus Music, Sonmez in their third encounter. Initially, 2023 ITF W60NG Open in France. In the quarterfinals, Alex won 76-64. There was a tie-break in the opening set. You are aware that it was tight. 2025 Lexus Eastbourne Open qualifying for the second time. Alex was in complete control of that one. 6-1 6-3 without a doubt. Thus, Zanab was aware of her challenges. She was aware that Alex had her phone number. What makes this contest even more intriguing, though, is this. This same week, both of these players achieved career-high rankings. Zanab is ranked 79th in the world, and Alex is ranked 45th. Both of them are rising. They both want it passionately and are on the rise. In addition, Zion was fresh off the Australian Open, where she advanced to the third round and became the first Turkish woman to win a match there. Along the process, she also defeated world number 11 Arina Alexandrova. Thus, this opponent wasn't to be taken lightly. This player had confidence, momentum, and nothing to lose. Okay, so the game begins, and Alex makes a strong first impression. She jumps out to a 3-1 Music lead after breaking serve early. I'm thinking, okay, she's in control, while I watch this. She's giving orders. She will lose this match. Zanab, however, does not fold. She is not that person. In the fifth game, she retaliates and breaks Alex, leveling the score at 3-3. Now that this set is back on serve and anything may happen, you can see the intensity rising. Here's where Alex demonstrates her uniqueness, though. She is not alarmed. She doesn't become tense. After gathering herself, she charges ahead to 5-3. She is currently serving on the set, just one game away. After that, she breaks. Zanab retaliates to make the score 5-4. Alex is now under more strain. But what do you know? Music. Champions show themselves here. Here, mental toughness is more important than skill. Alex takes the initiative, breaks Zay for the third time in the set, and wins 6-4. It's crucial. When it counts most, that's ice-cold composure. That's the kind of fortitude that wins championships, so if you're an Alex fan like I am, you're probably yelling at your screen right now. Alex is focused as the second set begins. Like a laser. You're thinking, okay, it's over, as she sprints out to a 300 lead. She is capable of handling this. Music, however, Zanap is a warrior. She won't simply give up and concede. Alex has to grind for every point as she battles back to 3-2. To be honest, you have to accept that. That's the kind of fierce competition that makes watching women's tennis so amazing at the moment. She closes the door though, Alex. She finishes the match 6-3 in the second set after winning 3 of the following 4 games. The entire game lasted 1 hour and 31 minutes. Alex converted 6 breaks out of 9 service games, which is the statistic that best illustrates the situation. Music. When she returned, she was unrelenting. Every time Zahn served, Alex would hunt, assault, and cause her discomfort. That is not fortuitous. That goes beyond simply having a pleasant day. That's tennis at the highest level. That entails analyzing the serve of your opponent, predicting the ball's trajectory, and making a precise return. While everyone else is playing checkers, Alex, who is 20 years old, is playing chess. This is my favorite thing about Alex. She might have simply performed the standard "I played well, delighted to get the win" interview, and moved on after defeating her friend in front of a crowded stadium. However, she is not that way. Pay attention to what she said. Being on the court with one of my best friends, Zanap, is such an honor. She is truly creating waves in a lot of ways, and I greatly admire her. Furthermore, our friendship extends beyond tennis. And for that, I am incredibly thankful. Like, hurry up. That is the epitome of class. Even after giving her buddy a failing grade, she continues to treat her with love and respect. Music. You are happy to be a fan when you witness that kind of sportsmanship. You want someone like them to represent your nation, your sport, and your generation. This explains why Alex is a wonderful person in addition to being a fantastic footballer. And that humility and sincere admiration for her opponent is uncommon and unique in a world where so many athletes are self-centered. Alright, so Alex moved up 2 spots in the live WTA rankings after this victory. She is currently ranked 43rd and is getting closer to the top 40. Music. To be honest, the top 40 is merely a benchmark. That isn't even close to this girl's ceiling. Music. Give it some thought. She is 20 years old. 20. The majority of athletes don't even reach their prime until their mid-20s. She still has years of growth ahead of her. After years of improving her strength, speed, and intelligence, she is already fighting against and defeating players who are ranked in the top 50, top 40, and even top 20 on good days. That is a crazy trajectory. She made her Grand Slam main draw debut earlier this year at the Australian Open, drawing an incredibly large crowd. Because Filipino supporters flocked to Court 6 to show their support for their girl, it was dubbed an insane queue. She didn't win the match. Alicia Parks defeated her in the opening round. However, the fact that she's creating that kind of enthusiasm and fan support says something. Great players are not the only ones who receive encouragement. They back athletes who evoke strong emotions in them. Additionally, Alex inspires, uplifts, and gives people hope. That has the potential to become a superstar. Alex then advances to the second round, where she will take against Belarusian Alexandra Sasnovich. And believe me when I say that this will not be simple. At 31, Sasnovich has 10 years of experience with Alex. After someone withdrew, she was a lucky loser and entered the main draw. Don't be fooled by it, though. Paula Badosa, the 8th seed and former world number 2, one of the most dangerous players on the circuit, was just taken aback by this woman. Sasnovich is shrewd, seasoned, and skilled at winning. The problem is that Alex does best when he is the underdog. When others disbelieve her, she flourishes. Additionally, I wouldn't wager against her following the confidence boost from this first-round victory, 6 serve breaks, and some of her finest tennis. She will also be getting doubles soon. Leylah Fernandez and Kristina Mladenovic will face her and Indonesian player Janice Chen. Music. Fernandez advanced to the doubles final of the French Open. Mladenovic has won the Grand Slam in doubles 6 times. That matchup is quite difficult. However, Alex doesn't back down from a challenge. She charges directly at them. Okay, let's have a real conversation for a moment. Why is Alex Eala important in addition to being a skilled tennis player? On the world's largest stages, She represents the Philippines. A whole generation of young Filipino children are being motivated by her to pick up a racket and have great dreams. She is demonstrating that it is not necessary to be from the traditional tennis powerhouses of the US, Europe, or Australia in order to succeed. Millions of people's aspirations and dreams are carried by her when she takes the court. And she flourishes under that pressure rather than breaking down. She gets her nourishment from it. Abu's Filipino audience, that was more than just support, Dhabi. It was fuel. Additionally, she treats her opponents with dignity, humility, and musical respect. That serves as a model for all the young athletes who are watching. You are able to be both kind and competitive. You can be both amiable and furious. You may lose with dignity and win with style. The Alex brand is that. In all honesty, her presence has improved the tennis world. Alright, so this is my hot opinion. You can either call me a genius or roast me when you return to this later. By the end of this year, Alexa will likely rank in the top 30, if not higher. Music. Why? Since she is skilled at the game. She has the mental fortitude. She has a strong work ethic. Above all, she has the belief. It's evident in the way she plays. She doesn't want to prevail. She anticipates winning. That swagger, that assurance. That is not something you can teach. Music. Have a look at her resume. Grand Slam Junior Champion, Australian Open Girls Doubles Champion, and US Open Girls Singles Champion. At every level that she has competed, she has been successful. She is currently touring on the main circuit, and she will soon begin to compete in major tournaments. And Alex Eala is going to be